Hello, everyone, and welcome in. The title of this episode is Ghost Losers to Improve Your Life. So let me say this. Some people love to have someone to depend on them. They like for a person to attach themselves to them because they want to feel needed. So if you are that type of person, then you can go ahead and tune out now, because what I'm talking about today is for those of us who don't feel the need to be needed or included by a person. We're very self-sufficient, and we expect the people in our lives to also be self-sufficient. Therefore, we can get together and enjoy each other and have a good time without that attachment. Without that attachment. And if by chance one of us find ourselves in a situation where we do need, because sometimes people do, then we will help, or we will seek help. But the losers that I'm talking about that need to be ghosted by individuals like myself are people who tend to always be in need. Always be in need. That is the name of their game. And it's who they are as a person. They have been groomed or evolved into a needy person. Why? Because they are so used to people doing for them, so used to it that they don't even try to get themselves out of the needy situation. And oftentimes they will place themselves in a place of need just because they want to call on you and pull from your resources. And yeah, I'm going to talk about why you need to ghost these types of people to improve your life. So there are some people who stay in crisis mode. These are people who keep a loserish lover around them. Like, have you ever had a girlfriend who just holds on to a man? She knows he's no good. Everyone around her knows he's no good, but still she's going to stick by him. Listen, there's no need to stick by someone who is not good for you, who is dragging you down. Divorce exists for a reason, okay? You can go out and make your own money. There's ways to make your own money, ways to make your own living. You just have to get out there and bust your ass and try, and you can succeed. I know you heard those talks in school, but there is no reason for you to keep a man or a woman, for that matter, around you who means you no good. So some people enjoy keeping these people around them. Why? I don't know, because I don't live that life. Also, some people like to keep family members around who use them and abuse them, all in the name of family. Even that statement just makes me sick to my stomach when people say, but that's family. What the hell does that mean? It means absolutely nothing. One day I opened my eyes and I just happened to be surrounded by these people, okay? If they're great, and I'm talking about someone who has a great family, if they're great, good. But if they are losers and bums, still good. But because they're a person, God created them. That's the only thing that's good. But that does not mean that you have to dedicate your life to saving them. Yes, you may love them, but the first step in saving someone is they have to want to save themselves. Why do you think so many people are strung out on a substance and there's nothing that can be done about it? Their family can't do anything about it. If they could save them, they would. But first, that person has to want to change. That person has to want to do better for themselves. They have, especially if they're an adult, they have to be willing and consent to being checked into a facility to receive help. No one can do that for them. Again, if they could, they would. But some people choose to keep family members around who use them in the name of family. And it could be because that's how they were raised. Again, that is how I was raised. I was raised always hearing that. It was constantly in my ear. That's family, that's family, that's family. So it constantly repeated in my head over and over again until one day I just woke up and I saw the light. And I said, wait a minute. Just like I can't control that I'm related to this person, they can't control that they are related to me. There are people who are not related to me, who treat me more like I matter than this particular person. So that whole statement is null and void. But you still have some people who really believe in that. I don't know if they truly believe in it, but they're guilted to think that because they are in relation and share blood, a bloodline, with a person, that they must keep them around no matter what. And they will drag you down by complaining about them and saying what they had to do to help them and what they did, they stole from them. Oh, they're living with them now. What? But the only reason I let them live with me is because it's family. No, you do not bring a bum in your sanctuary. You do not bring a bum into your home. Your home is your sanctuary. I don't care who it is. Now, I'm not against helping people out if that's what you want to do, but find another way. You never bring a bum into your house, especially when you have your children there, because you are jeopardizing their safety and their well-being. And you're also teaching them to continue that detrimental cycle of helping people just because they're family. If you bust your butt to, make it for yourself, and you went to school, you put in the hours, you put in the time. You have a job, you put in the hours, you put in the time. Someone who does not plan to change, who has no desire to change, has no business to sit up under you and gain from your hard labor. Unless it is your child, because they didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to be born. And you brought them into this world, so you are responsible for them. But you're not responsible for anyone else but your children. And when they get grown, this also has to be said. When they get grown, you may feel indebted to them, but still they are able to make their own decision. And then when they get grown, their life is theirs. You are no longer responsible for them. Also, people who don't want to have fun. Now, life is both ups and downs, but life ain't always a drag. But there are some people who just, again, they want to stay in crisis mode. They never want to do anything enjoyable, because what they do enjoy is to sit around and complain about what's not going right, or who they have to take care of, or what they have to do. And they never want to break away from that and have a good time. For example, someone who is always taking care of someone, and then it's your birthday, so you ask them to come and celebrate with you, and they can't even do that because they want to stay in caretaker mode. But what they don't understand is that in order to take care of someone successfully, you've got to take care of yourself first. So for you to step out and have a good time, celebrate someone you love, and then go back to your caretaking duties, that's not too much to ask. And if a person act like they just absolutely can't do that, because they don't want to bring any joy into their life. Guess what? That negativity and that doom is then going to start rubbing off on you. This may be kind of harsh, and like I said, if you're not with it, just tune out. If you are against everything that I'm saying, tune out. But if you're feeling me, stay tuned, because I got some more to say. Also, you want to avoid those lower level struggles. You have to ghost losers because they are all about the lower level struggle. For example, they're always needing a ride. Now, Uber and Lyft were the best things ever invented. And they were invented for people who do not drive. So I'm not saying that a person who does not have a car is a loser. That is not what I'm saying. A car is a hell of an investment. Actually, I think people who don't own cars are very smart and resourceful. And I would be one of those people if I did not have a fear of public transportation. But I do, because I used to catch it as a young girl growing up in a city. It was dirty, it was loud, it was dangerous, and personally, I do not like being harassed and followed. So that is the only reason why I choose to purchase a vehicle and ride in my own personal vehicle. So let me just get that straight. But again, Uber and Lyft were invented for that specific reason. So when someone makes you responsible for their transportation, yes, that is loserish. When all they have to do is get on their mobile device and call an Uber or a Lyft. And before that, there was this thing called a cab, a taxi. So some people want to make you totally responsible. And I get it, because I love to ride people around in my car, pick them up, and drop them off if I have to. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there are some people who feel entitled. They think that because you invite them somewhere, that you are also responsible for how they get there and how they get back. No, ma'am. No, sir. We are both grown. I can invite you somewhere. You make it there through Uber or Lyft or however you want to get there. And then, if I can, of course I'm going to offer to take you home. But believe it or not, some people actually sit around and get mad at people because they don't consider their ride. I've heard people say out of their mouth, "She know I don't drive. So why would she invite me but not make preparations to pick me up because she know I don't drive?" And I had to look at them like, "Girl, what?" And I said to them, "Well, why can't you catch an Uber or a Lyft?" Oh, no, they didn't want to hear that, because you know what? That mean they had to spend that money. And then that made me think, you're a loser. Because why would you even, well, you're entitled. May not be a loser just based off of that, but that's a loserish way to think. People are not responsible for you, a whole grown-ass adult. If they do consider you, then that's cool too. But if they don't, maybe they have something to do before and after, and they're not responsible for you. Now, oftentimes, if it's someone who, I'm digging them as a person, of course I'm going to say, oh, if I invite them, oh yeah, I could pick you up. Or if I can. All the time you can't, especially if you're hosting the event, you have things to do before. Or you may arrange them a ride. But no, that's up to you to arrange your ride. To arrange you a ride. So when people expect you to do that, but not only expect you to do that, but they hold you responsible, they are a loser. Be the person who expects nothing and you'll gain everything. I don't know if I just came up with that on my own, or I probably heard it somewhere, or I may have read it as a meme. I don't know. But it sounds accurate. Be the person who expects nothing and you'll gain everything. No one owes you a ride. But if they offer it to you, thank you. Thank you. We're not entitled to other people's time and gas money for that matter. But guess what? A loser is losing in life and think that they are entitled to everything that's yours. Hence why they believe that they should be included in all of your thoughts and plans. But that's just not accurate. Also, this one, I know y'all heard it a million times before. People who always need to borrow money. Now, notice I said borrow. So if you're not responsible enough to make some money and find a way to keep it, then what makes me think that you're going to be responsible enough to get money from me that I lend to you, and you're going to make it a priority to make that money back and then give it back to me? When someone needs to borrow money, I expect them not to give it back to me. And if it's money in large sums, it's not happening. Because what are you doing? If you have no desire to make money and keep it, then you have no desire to pay me back my money. You are not a money maker. So you are not borrowing, quote, anything from me. Go make you some money. Also, avoid the people who are always complaining about the losers in their life. I think I touched on this already, but it's worth saying again. Someone who every time they come around, they're complaining about how this one and how that one is in need and how they tired of helping them and how they tired of dealing with them, but you keep on doing it. So now you're burning my ears because I don't want to hear about it. Because you're dumping onto me a lower level struggle when you don't even have to have that problem in your life. Now, you're smart enough to know that the person is dragging you down, so let them go. If you're not smart enough to do that, then I need to be smart enough to get you from around me because I don't want to hear it. Next are the people who lie. I don't care. Once I catch you in a lie, you're a liar to me. That's your label, liar. Because why? Is it that you're trying to impress me or someone else? That's whack, the lying. And then it makes me think that everything that you say after that is a lie. So the whole time you're speaking with me, in my head, I'm just like, this could be a lie. That could be a lie. Liar, 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 liar. And it's too much. It's too much. So ghost those liars. Also, ghost those jealous people. Once you get a hint that someone is jealous of you or envious of you, they want what you have. They want your life. And believe me, a true jealous person won't stop until they get it. Now, here's the thing about jealous people that can be scary. Some of them will outwardly let you know that they're jealous of you. I appreciate those because thank you for being upfront. But not many are going to do that. Most are going to drop red flags. They're going to do things that are going to be shady. And you're going to figure it out, and you're going to give them probably the benefit of the doubt and make up excuses for why they probably did this and that. But the end result is not going to change. That person is still going to be jealous of you. You can't change it. So just once you find out someone is jealous, decide, do I want this jealous person in my life who is here to sabotage and make things harder for me? Or do I want to ghost them and get rid of them and never deal with them again on that level to protect my own self? I think you know what the correct answer is. Sometimes the scary thing about jealous people is that they will pretend, and they pretend well. They'll pretend to be close to you. They'll let you into their lives, their circle. Well, you're thinking that they're letting you in, but most of the time they're telling lies, and it's making you feel relatable to them. And so then you open up and turn, and then they get an in to your life, and then they start to sabotage. But most of the time, they'll make you feel really good about yourself in the beginning. And that's where the trust builds. So you're building trust with them, and then you let them in, and then they flip a switch. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can sense it, sometimes you can't. If you're very discerning, you can sense it. A lot of times, jealous people will get into your life through being nice nasty. And that nice nastiness is very, very tricky, because we're all kind of trained already how to react if someone is being outwardly mean to you. But when it's nice nasty, they're actually being overly nice to you in your face. And then what do? How do you handle that? I need to do a nice nasty segment, because I can delve deep into that nice nastiness. But that's maybe the trickiest way that people can get in your life and pretend and really be jealous of you, by being nice nasty. And they could fool many with that, but they can't fool me. I can basically see a smiling face and see all the nice acts that people do, and still look in their eyes and see that mini microaggression that they have, and say, yeah, she's not who she says she is. Many people are fooled. But if you are very discerning, you can't be fooled by the nice nastiness. It just rubs you the wrong way. So again, that is another type of loser that you need to get rid of in your life and ghost to improve your life. So Coach K, what do you do if you want to ghost losers to improve your life? What type of people should you involve yourself with? Because I do believe that no man is an island. And it's funny because a lot of the channels that I've been tuning into lately and enjoying, because I'm thinking, wow, a lot of these people, they think just like me. They think a lot like me. Oh my goodness, we are out here. Yes, doing a daggone thing. But one thing that I noticed that's different about those people that I watch and me is that they are loners, like true loners. They say that they don't have many friends, or some of them don't have any friends. They're true loners. Now, the difference about me is that I have friends. I do. I have friends. I wouldn't say that I have a whole lot of friends, but I do have friends. And I love my friends. Those people are really good people. And you will have to fight me on that to believe otherwise, because I'm not going to believe otherwise about them, okay? Nobody can come along and get in my head and say, oh, they're this, they're that, because they're not. They're just not. They're everything. So I would say, and maybe I haven't had the experiences that these people have. I'm not saying that they're wrong for not having any friends. I get it, because I have been through some friendship breakups in the past. Let me tell you. And people have shown themselves to be complete snakes. But one thing I can say is the signs were there all along. I just chose to ignore them because of proximity. I chose to ignore the signs. They were always there. And if they weren't always there, they started to pop up. And I said, no, that's my friend. That's my friend. But see, I don't do that anymore. So, like I said, maybe these people just don't have the friends that I have. Maybe they have not run into the friends that I have. And prayerfully, one day they will, because they will have a great thing. But I get it if they don't want to give anybody else a shot, because let me tell you, the friendship breakups that I done been through, I wouldn't give nobody else a shot either if I didn't think the way that I think. And the way that I think is to give everybody a fair shot and a clean slate. Because I said one thing, I refuse, and I talk about this in my book too, Bouncing Back After Breakup, www.kaluxcoaching.com. Get the book. It's really, really good. I talk about this in my book. I said one thing that I refuse is to let a snake let me think that everybody is that way. I refuse, because I know everybody's not that way, because I know I'm not that way. So if I exist out here and I'm not just going around using people and trying to see what I can get off them and stabbing them in the back, if I know that I exist, then I know that there are others out here who exist as well. And that's what it means to find your tribe. So I felt like I found my tribe. And guess what? I can add more members to my tribe, because like I said, I give everybody a clean slate until you show me otherwise. So here's my advice, if you'd like to take it. It's to get you a core group of people that you love on and you care about. Core family and core friends. You can even write a list, okay? Make note of these people. You can put a star by their name in your phone. And those are the people that you give all your time and energy to. Yeah, they may do some of these things that's on this list. They may need to borrow money. They may need a ride. They may start to complain about losers in their life. They may keep a loserish man or woman in their life. They may let family members use them. They may not want to have fun sometimes. But guess what? That's not their whole MO. They don't do it on the regular. Everyone deserves some grace. If they are part of your core and they have a moment, you can work with them to talk them out of that low time in their life. But these people have shown you that they are real deal, your core group of family and friends. So you want to keep them in your life. Also, you want to meet new people. And when you meet those new people, keep the connections kind of surface and just get to know them before you start letting them into your life. One thing I noticed is that guys, they keep stuff very surface. And I think that's why they can get along with anybody and they call everybody their friend. Oh yeah, that's my man, that's my boy. Because they're not too engulfed in each other's life. They don't, you can ask a guy, where your friend work? I don't know. Because they're not in a business. What do they do when they get together? They talk about sports. They talk about what showing each other funny memes or something that they seen on Instagram. You know, you don't have to have everybody deep up all in your business and in your life. And when you start to operate like that, you'll start to realize that people are really fun. And some of those surface connections are some of the best connections ever. And it's not like you're trying to hide your life, but let stuff come out over time. You can know somebody for 4 or 5 years, and then y'all having a good time together, you vibing, you enjoying each other, and then they find out where they work later on. Oh, yeah, oh, okay, well, you work for the Department of Defense? Oh, all right, that's what's up. But it's not like you are getting so engulfed in their life, like, where do you work? How old are you? What do you do for this? What do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? People don't want to feel interviewed all the time. I know I don't. Don't interview me. Things should flow naturally anyway. It's like when you get to interviewing people, when I feel like I'm being interviewed, when somebody is like in a rush to get to know everything about me, you know what I think to myself? Monitoring spirit. It's time to pull back. It gets uncomfortable. Let things flow naturally. Now, I'm not saying that people can't ask you certain questions, because someone could ask you all of those same questions, but if it's not flowing with the conversation, then it just gets weird. And I noticed that guys don't really do all that. I can sit up here and ask any guy that I know a whole bunch of questions about their friend. And if they have only known them for a few years, they probably can't answer two of them questions about him. All I know is he cool. But it's different, if they've known them all their life, then of course they know their spouse, where their spouse work, how many kids they got, this, that, and the other. So I'm suggesting that you meet new people and keep the connection surface, because also a lot of people like to get in your life and pocket watch. They want to know how much you make, what you do, and sometimes it gets weird because they just want to get in where they fit in, and you don't want none of that. Okay. Quick story. When I was on my last vacation, we met a couple and they were cool and we hung out with them. That is something that I never do. But I said, let's do something new. They seem cool. Everything flowed. They talked about, we talked about different interests, different things, random. Everything was a vibe and it flowed. They were really, really cool. And I said, see, that's why sometimes I tell myself, let me just go ahead and try something new. Because I said, there are also other people out here like me. I know I talk about weird people a lot, and there are a lot of weird people out here, but there are some people who are not weird. There's weird people and there are people who are not weird. So I just feel like I dedicate my life to surrounding myself by those people who are not weird. So that's just a quick story time. That's a new people. Those are new people that were introduced to me, and they were actually cool, and I enjoyed them. So yeah, I'm not the one sitting around screaming no. When that song came out, it was the popular thing to say. And I think I put it on a caption or two of mine with a picture of me and my friends. But it's not nothing that I live by, okay? Because I'll tell you in a heartbeat, I welcome new people in until they get weird. And then I will kick them out like I never met them, okay? I'm an Aquarius at the end of the day. And the last tip is to get better with your money. Hold on to it. Don't be dishing it out to any and everybody and on any and everything. Like I said, those core people in your life, sometimes they're going to have ups and downs. Sometimes they're going to have needs and wants. That is who you can save for a rainy day in case they need some help or some assistance. But don't be going out here giving your all and your savings to a person who is, and let me go back through this list again that I told you about. Don't be giving all your money to a person who is always needing a ride because they don't want to spend their money on Uber or Lyft. Because that person is not going to even consider giving you gas money. Gas is expensive, okay? So pay me what you would have paid that Uber or Lyft driver sometimes. Not all the time, but just sometimes. Here's a little something to go in your tank. It's thoughtful. It's the thought that counts. Don't just feel entitled just because I got a car, you got a car. No, you ain't paying this note, then it's all mine. Also, people who always wanting to borrow money. Now, if you always want to borrow money, then you're probably more than likely always not paying it back. And then your debt is just growing and growing and growing. Stop giving those people money. No. Only people I'm going to let borrow money are those people who are in my core that I talked about, those core friends and family. And guess what? They have been well vetted by me. I know them, and I know that as soon as they get the money, they're going to pay me back, and they do it each and every time. So, yeah. And then people who are always complaining about the losers in their life. Don't spend your money on them, because guess what? They're getting that money and they're spending it on those losers. I had a family, let's call them a relative, because you know how I roll. I had a relative who I would always look out for. Now, this was a long time ago, because now I'm smarter and wiser. But a long time ago, I would give them gifts. And I would give them monetary gifts. I would give them for their birthday a card with money in it, or a card with a gift card, like a food gift card, until I learned that they were giving that money and those gift cards to a mooching loser in their life. And I kind of felt the way about that. I mean, I'm not an Indian giver. Once I give you something, it's yours to do what you want with. But I was like, I'm not paying their way. I give that to you for you to enjoy, and you giving it to them. So, and another relative or family member shared this with me. And then we decided we just not going to give them money no more. For their birthday, we'll take them out to give them an experience, or we'll give them something physically that they ask for. No more money for you, because you're giving it to a loser, and you giving it to that loser. No, not my money, not my hard-earned money. So that's what I mean. Sometimes if you give your money to a person that keeps a loser in their life, most times they're going to be giving that money to that loser, because that loser is leeching off of them. And they're going to be asking them, and they got they pocket watching, so they got their eyes on whatever money comes in for them. If for example, they're at a birthday dinner, they see how much money they're getting. Oh, thank you. The person is opening their cards. They see that they got $50. All of a sudden, they are in need of $50. Oh, I just need to borrow $50. Because they know they got it. No. So I believe that if you do these things and just overall ghost these losers, your life will improve, because guess what? If you're not giving all your money away, voila, you have more money. And if you're not giving all your time away and your energy, voila, you have more time and energy to spend on the things that you love, the things that you love to do, and with the people who you love. You have more energy to give and time to spend. And I can attest to this. You have a clearer mind. You have peace and tranquility. Right now, if my phone were to ring, I can guarantee you it is not a beggar. You know why? Yeah, if my phone were to ring right now, I can guarantee you that it's not a loser, because I don't keep them in my life. I don't entertain them. I almost have them trained in a sense, because they know, oh, I know I can't call her. I know I can't ask her. I know she ain't going to want to hit. Because 10 times out of 10, first of all, I'm not going to answer my phone. Even if I think you begging for something or asking for something. I'm going to make you text me. Because that's the only way that you can reach me. So I just want everyone to get to that point in their life. If we ascend, ghost losers, and improve our lives, we can do great things. We can all do great things together. And we can form a union or a society where we take care of what's important. Because see, a loser doesn't even put themselves as a priority. So they're telling you with their actions, and everything. I don't care about me. And if somebody don't care about themselves, they cannot care about you. They won't care about you. So those losers care nothing about you. How do I know this for a fact? I don't know the loser in your life that you need to ghost. But what I can tell you is that they don't care about you. They care nothing about you. And you know how I know that? Because they don't care about themselves. And how can I guarantee that? Because they are a loser. And a loser does not care about themselves. So how in the world can they care about you? Let it sink in. Y'all be safe and protect yourself from them losers.